the farms also got the flame. Michigan grows folks. Just wanna grow something to smoke. Michigan grows show. Michigan grows show. Michigan grows show. Michigan grows show.
You redeemed yourself with the cut. Welcome to the Bro Show Live. It's Sunday night, everybody. How the fuck are you?
Hey,
Right out the
cheers.
gate.
Big oof by me there. Sorry.
You redeemed it, man. You got the good outro cut. So.
I was like, well, I gotta play it out now. I started the song.
Hey, they don't normally get an intro. They should be thankful either way. I'm thankful either way, I should say.
That's because we're not dropping in the middle of a conversation on some crazy shit Red said.
That's right. We got to start with hey, welcome back to the Late Sesh.
Are we live yet?
Sure hope not. DLG's back here making a racket.
A ruckus? A cacophony of noise?
Could you describe this ruckus?
You don't want him to.
Bring the motherfucking ruckus.
It's a lot of
Where's
slurping
my
involved.
Wu-Tang out there?
I don't know.
Oh no.
I don't know if you want me to describe this ruckus.
Cheers,
Cheers,
everybody.
everybody.
That's a great
Yeah, what's going on, chat? What's happening? Please join us in live chat. Live with us. Seems to you're gonna miss some stuff in top chat.
Got some Lime River Rose tonight. See if I can get it to focus.
Come on. That looks pretty good.
Nice.
Got it.
Some
That looks
lemon
good.
dozy do.
Ah, I fell.
Oh, as soon as he
I
blocks it in,
really
it's
you
gone.
dropped it. It's like a ninja.
My fingers are so tiny.
Makes all the buds look big. That's why all the buds like to be held by you.
That's
Oh,
right.
my fingers are so big, nothing fits on. You know, it's I don't know. Anyway,
Oh,
Are you
that's
saying
why
that you have
it's
hamburger
flat.
helper hands? You know, like the big glove?
yeah.
Big gloves. You know what they say.
And big mints.
They make lots of things look small.
Big
That's right.
hands.
Items
cold,
may be
right?
larger than they
Cold,
appear.
right?
Yep.
You know it.
Well, just because it looks small. doesn't
Shrinkage, Red. Shrinkage.
It's cold, man.
Speaking of cold, I see we had a question to jump right out of the gates.
It's a great question, too.
It is a great question, but the problem is we have to get some more information.
Oof, baby.
You can give some good advice on this, I think, just based on this.
Okay.
Oh,
Well, one thing that I say is I see that the last part you say you got the heater cranked, but any other suggestions? I'm worried that if it's a cut and you've got it cranked too high, that you could potentially stress kill it out because it doesn't have any roots or anything yet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
are we certain that it's cold temperatures that are doing the dirty work? That's
Here's
what
Medical
I want to be
Monday.
certain first.
First and foremost, what point in the plant's life are you in?
Cut.
If it's able to take a cut off of it, do that first and put it inside warm.
Give it heat.
Yeah, that's a good point. Stick it in another place.
Major General
24
also
hour
is
light,
the
yeah,
24/7. Yep.
Keep
I
your
like
lights
to do
on.
that. You get consistent heat 24 hours a day. T5s are great for this because they're less efficient, so they make more heat. So they help add to the equation there. And always make sure your plants are off the ground, like on risers and trays, something like that. It can get real cold if you have them in like a basement setting.
If they're in an outdoor setting, they make these. What the hell are they called?
Horse stall mats.
Well, they're these heaters that you can just wrap around your pots.
Oh, it's
They're
like the thing for a trailer.
They're like lines, yeah, but they actually make them for pots. So you just wrap them around pots. You can plug them in to keep your root ball warm. I don't remember what the hell they're called other than that. I'm sure if you Google that, though, you're going to come up with something.
Yeah, sound like some kind of a thermal wire or something.
Need more info.
That's what I said.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, ideally, any growing environment, you want your temperatures somewhere between, you want 70 to 80 degrees, somewhere in that range, day or night. Doesn't really matter. I mean, if you're dipping down in the night, whatever you can do to get it up into the higher ranges, if that's cycle air from a warmer area of your house, add a heater. I mean, if you're not safe with adding a heater, I suggest cycling air. Cycling air tends to work the best. I mean, if you're dealing with a shed or something like that outside, you might have to buckle up and get a gas heater, a propane heater, or something like that. Electric heater might not.
Well, and the cold weather isn't necessarily going to kill the clone either. Bearing in mind what the age is. Let's say that it's a teen. It may not die if it's 58 degrees.
If we're sure that it's cold.
But it will definitely retard the growth of it and really, really slow it down.
Mm-hmm.
Could add some issues if you're dealing with moisture and cold weather, because usually there's not a lot of moisture where there is cold weather. So,
well, the other problem as well is since you can get into a real issue where you can make it rain in there too. If you really got a big difference of 15 or 20 degrees between lights on and lights off, it can really be a big stress swing for the plant.
All right, so his new update says his internet is crap. It's already skipping, probably a minute behind, but seedlings have survived. But the cuts are doing crap and they're almost dead.
So I'm guessing they're clones.
They're probably cuts that aren't rooted yet then.
Yeah.
I'd get a seedling mat. I'd get a seedling mat then.
Seedling mat. That's what I was just about to say. And keep your lights on 24/7.
you
for the
may want to try to take new clones. Honestly, I mean, there's a point where you're gonna start deleting your efficacy on your overall plant health and everything just because of your
They're in a
clone
situation
health.
where these are cuts that he doesn't have backed up, and or he or she doesn't have backed up, and they want to
Right, that's what it sounds like.
keep
to me.
them.
And tomorrow they could probably go to the store and maybe find one of those plug-in oil heaters that we always talk about too, and maybe introduce that to the space.
They said they have a heater cranked already.
Yeah, you're right. See, high already. It means it's working, folks.
I want to shout out. I see Medical Mondays podcast in the chat. Shout out to Medical Mondays. They always do a really good job shouting us out every single show, man. So I want to shout them out.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, cheers, guys.
And I do want to say to anybody that didn't get a chance to check out the Bro Show live last night, go back and check out when we had Rob and Trey on from Cannabis Lifestyle TV. Really good time. Really good vibes.
It was really fun.
Yeah. I was stoked to have them on for sure. It was a really good time. So what's up?
That's interesting.
What are we talking
Shredder in chat. I haven't noticed. It's Shredder in chat says that. Let me find it again. Now it just run away. So Cool used to say that full light for seedlings, but dimmer for clones. So maybe too much light. That's interesting to see. You know, how much light do you have on these things? That might be the reason they're struggling. If you got a lot of light going on them.
Yeah, there could be a ton of reasons why the clones are struggling.
Yeah, man.
I mean, do they have roots yet? Is it nutrient deficiency? If they don't have roots,
Is
is
there
it
too much? You know what I mean? Have you never know. It's a process of elimination, really, is what you've got to do. And you're right. It starts by the environment.
We just took a bunch just recently.
That was was it Thursday?
Yeah.
They said they just flipped the mom a week or so ago. So there's still time to take.
You can take
there's your answer. Just take a clone off that mom. Take
Yeah.
another couple clones off them.
Everybody, oh shit! Well, there you go. There's just
Dude, if you're around those plants and you can't clone them right now, but you're around them, take those clones right now and just stick them in some water.
I'll take it to about week 2 or 3 if I have to. Shit, past that if it's the last, it's my only
if
chance.
it's the losing
Clone
it, yeah.
them. You can just put them in rock wool tomorrow or something. Just put them in water tonight. Get them out of that light cycle though. Man, we did some oxychlorine clones. We did some rock wool clones. We did some root riot clones. I don't think we did much more than that. But
DOJ was trying to sleep in my bed, my area.
No good.
her safe space.
Painted lady likes it when dogs sleep in her area.
Not so much.
I don't think so. I think we talked about that.
Yeah. I mean, they're good like for warming up the bed real quick, and then they can take their Frito feet down on their bed.
Both my dogs have 2 beds each. They don't get to go in my bed.
I like that theory better, but Diamond has already been bed trained, so it would be real difficult.
Does she like cuddle up by your heads, or does she sleep down by your feet?
She wants to be Little Spoon.
Yeah. It's cute.
She wants to be Little Spoon.
She wants to be Little Spoon all the time. No matter how hot you are.
Yep. So yeah, it gets real warm.
That's what Yoji likes to do, except he doesn't know which end he likes to keep his head. He likes to keep his head towards my feet and his ass where my face goes.
Particularly your eye area.
Right.
An old dog with gas. So I'm constantly pushing his ass away from my face.
Like he always tries to sleep that way all the time.
You're always pushing his ass under the covers to Dutch oven yourself. That's the problem.
He's gotten to the point where he doesn't like lay down slowly.
Why we have separate comforters.
He doesn't lay down slowly. He like plops down the like last third of the way. He'll like start to go down, and then he'll like so it'll be like crunch. Just crush my face.
You know how like factories will have that sign out front that says so many days since the last accident? You need one like in front of the house that says so many days since the last gooching?
Oh yeah.
I wonder how many.
Yeah,
are you at double digits yet, or are you still hovering in singles?
No, still in singles, thankfully.
All right, double digit hours.
He's gotten the probiotics, so we're trying to stop all the.
You're trying to make sure you don't get
itching.
infections.
Yeah. Staying good and clean here.
So I checked
washing
out
the bedding often.
the newest episode of Growing Belushi tonight. Have you
There's
guys
more
heard about that?
episodes?
Yeah, it just came out yesterday, I think.
We watched that a little while ago.
You know that he lost all of his greenhouses because his head grower. I didn't mean to do that. His head grower grew the plants too tall, and they hit the top of the greenhouse, and it just caused mold like everywhere.
Yeah.
That's the second time he lost his. Didn't he lose like his entire crop in the first season too?
I
guess we're
so.
hitting some
He's
heavy spoilers, but
not had good luck, and
Yeah.
that's how he starts off the second season. He has the guys from Grow Generation come in and tell him to level everything and to build those really cool greenhouses with the top that comes back and everything, and it go LED and everything. And so it's a kind of an interesting show, but
guess if you have that much money, you might as well.
that's
Send
exactly
him my
right.
resume.
Yeah, like it. Oh, okay. just scrap everything we just spent all of our money building and doing. No problem. We got money to take care of that.
What I did think, I guess this way we don't spoil too much of the second season because I haven't seen it yet. But like in the first season, I guess if you should have seen it maybe by now, I suppose. If you haven't, I'm spoil slight bits of it. But like the fact that like the main genetic stock was off of the old school drug dealer of basically everybody from SNL, like John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd and all those
But those are the cocaine
all
kids,
those
man.
characters. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. Well, I mean, the story goes he was their weed dealer, right? I'm sure he was their everything dealer, or they had different whatever. I don't really know this, all the backstory, but
Shut up.
it's a pretty cool, at least, tale. It's a good story, whether or not it's a fable or whether or not it's just part of their marketing plan or whatever it is for the genetics. It's a cool little story. You know what I mean? It just goes back to the original dude, the dude that they would rely on to get come backstage and get them high, before shows. I can't even remember what the dude's name is or what the strain was called, but I'm sure somebody in chat remind us.
Well, I had to laugh because in the very first episode, there's one guy that I guess has been skeptical of Jim's journey throughout this whole cannabis process. And he comes into the room after they had just been in the kitchen making, they called it FSO, making FSO, and they were showing like, oh, look at how concentrated it is, and this is super potent. And then they left a pan of it on the stove with a spatula in it. And then the guy comes along and thinks it's like frosting or something dumb. And so he's like, what is that? Takes his finger and like, and then takes this big lick of it and then tastes it. And at first is like, ew. And then he's like, oh, that's kind of good. And then licks the spatula. And then, of course, they show him like tripping out, like all these colors.
And baby come back on that, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just like, dude, if that had been an FSO, that dude would have been fucking. Woo.
Never lick a spoon, you don't know where it's been.
Right, like.
That's the
Number
gooch in the
one,
spoon.
I don't know. That's the one thing I don't like about the show is it really just kind of it
It's like a
detracts
show.
away from it detracts away from cannabis and what it's really being used for and its purpose here and stuff. But it also it's the Belushi name. Of course, it's going to have to be somewhat entertaining. So. It is somewhat entertaining show, but
I'm curious how much of it is scripted. Like how much of that crop loss is scripted.
I think you're right, Red, because there are some points where it just seems like where they had an intervention, like the family had like this intervention.
Oh, that family intervention thing was like the first season. If they did it again on the second season, that's hilarious. And the one on the first season was funny because it totally seemed scripted. It was just.
Anyway, but it's kind of entertaining, and then it shows them going through the whole process now of rebuilding. So, yeah, interesting.
Chad has rang in and says it is definitely all scripted. It's like big time wrestling, man.
Yeah, for sure. Except they got a cannabis license to work with, or maybe they don't. Maybe it's all just.
Maybe they don't. Maybe they just fuck it, man.
I think it's out in Oregon. If I remember right. If I heard him right, it's in Oregon.
Yeah, like a big farm.
Belushi Farm.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
At this point, he's been at it for a few years, I think.
Yeah, I mean...
Aykroyd had to watch the show, man. You get him scared away after a couple of years.
I really respect Dan Aykroyd in a lot of ways, man. That dude's had a lot of success with movies and production and all that. He's got Crystal Head vodka. I mean, a lot of that is his stuff. That's his backstory. He's done his research. He's a really cool dude. The backstory on the Crystal Head vodka with the crystal skulls and them having like alien roots or supernatural roots, and he uses certain crystals that he not only triples distills like 3 Olives vodka, right? It's triple distilled. It's distilled once, it's distilled again, it's distilled 3 times for purity. And then what he does is he distills it then, and according to him, he runs it again. He triple distills it again further through these crystals. I'd imagine you consider something like a carbon filter or something like that. It probably runs it through some cool processing equipment or whatever, like we do in cannabis. It's alcohol, and he says that it goes through the crystals that are clear. They're crystal. Probably
Have you tasted
white.
it?
Oh yeah. I've got some old crystal.
I have heard that it's dog shit.
Red's on that crystal.
So let's say that's a crystal. He says that after so much of this product goes through it, it comes out like the crystals are yellow and nasty. So like even the normal distillation doesn't get all the impurities out. It gets more. It doesn't sound right? It's distillation, right? Shouldn't it? Yeah, you'd imagine it'd be. But whatever's in the ethanol, it's a little bit more to get out.
I've heard that it tastes like shit.
Yeah, because they do have to like dilute it, right? We can't have pure grain alcohol on the shelf. We can only have fucking 80 proof or whatever. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so yeah, so 40%. Yeah.
You have that bottle up there?
Is there a bottle up there? I have a bottle. I can show them all. It's empty.
I wanted to get it just because I thought the bottle was pretty cool, and I used to be a vodka drinker, but
yeah, we don't drink at all, so he's had this for a while.
I heard that it wasn't worth it. So, Stoney, do you like it? I'm curious.
Well, his branding's pretty cool on it because
I heard from a few other people it was not good, so I didn't buy it.
It's all gimmick.
I don't know, man. I thought it was pretty damn good.
I think it's really cool.
Yeah, I always thought it was damn.
How many people bought that to make a bong out of it or something?
I know.
I mean, that's kind of why I saved it. I'm saving it for whatever reason, a little penny jar or whatever. It's kind of cool. I got another. I've gone through a few of these bad boys. So.
How much is that?
Drinker. It's not cheap. It's like a $50. No, it's probably like a 40, maybe like a $40 bottle.
Okay, yeah. I like my
it's
Belvedere is like 30 something, and that's like good for me.
You know what? Sequence brings up a good point. He says all our vodka is max like 40% here in Michigan. That is one thing that I can remember is when I was younger.
I have not come to kill Caesar.
Shit was 80 proof or 100
I've come
proof.
to make a salad.
Yep.
Now it's all 80 or 79.
Yeah.
They like added more water to the shit, man.
You can get 151.
153, I think, is the highest you can get.
Yeah, and then you got to go to like.
Then you got to drive. Yeah.
Get the good stuff.
You want me to show off a bottle of the good stuff?
The 190, I got one.
I got one right back here behind me too.
Sequence had a fancy drink the other night.
I got about three different varieties.
Tell them
Maybe bought me a wheatgrass tequila cocktail.
Wasn't wheatgrass. You ordered it.
Oh, it had lemongrass in it. That's what it was.
Wheatgrass.
I remember buying some Polish vodka before it had like a blade of grass, like a bison, had a bison on the bottle and a blade of grass in the bottle.
I can't remember what all was.
It was a mezcal drink.
Oh, okay. Had it work.
Lemongrass is like an acquired taste. There's not a lot. I mean, I like it, but I don't know a lot of people.
It had lemongrass. It had celery juice. It had cilantro.
Was it good?
Oh man,
yeah.
I like mezcal. It's interesting.
It was good.
It had that.
Did it taste like soap?
Sure.
Soapy?
No, I like cilantro.
I do not like.
We did the cilantro get.
Cilantro or celery.
We already did that gig.
Oh, you think celery is a no good one too? Celery does have a weird.
Celery dominates whatever it touches.
Celery's got a weird after feeling and taste. It is a strange one. It's like
celery and butter, man.
Yeah, it adds
what
like
feeling does it give
it's
you?
like it's like a mild gas. I don't know. It's like not gas, but it is gas. It's like gas you like feel in your face. It's weird. Like it has such an aroma. Like you just smell it all day long.
I read somewhere that it's celery because it's so fibrous. Actually has like like a net negative calorie.
Oh
because-
God,
Negative-
my son used to
negative
fucking say that
calorie.
all the time to me.
Yeah,
I'd be
something like
like, dude,
negative.
listen, there's no such thing as a negative. No, listen, Pop, I use more fucking calories chewing it than I would, and my body burns calories doing it. I'm
Breaking it-
like, shut the
break
fuck
it
up.
It's not.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's not just chewing. It's a true statistic. Your body uses actually more energy digesting it than it is actually what it's going to
What it
put in.
is.
It's all water. It's all water and fiber,
good,
and
though.
few
I-
carbohydrates, and
It's
by
like
the time-
eating hair. Who wants to
No, it's
fucking eat hair?
Stop buying the shit out of the
I
store
love
and
it.
grow some.
I think it's great.
What?
Hella full
Stop
of
buying the shit out of the store and grow some, and then it's fucking good.
Celery
It
is
doesn't
fucking
have
gross.
the stuff
I
you
love
grow
that
doesn't have
avatar.
hair, that long hair stuff that you pull out of it.
You guys are getting the wrong kind of celery. You gotta get good celery.
I don't. Yeah, I don't.
You guys know what I'm
You
talking
get yours
about?
pre-shredded.
Yeah,
of
I
course.
do know.
Of course.
No, I do know what you're
Ghetto
talking about. I don't
celery?
like. I don't
I'm not
like
a
it.
celery
You're getting that
person.
heavy commercial. I'll tell you what, I got pumpkins in back that still won't decay. You know what I mean? That's because they're commercially farmed pumpkins. You know, that's how fibrous that shit is. That's just how GMO that shit is. You know, I got a pumpkin on the porch that I grew in my backyard. I couldn't get off the porch because it was full of mush by the end of November.
Is it like a McDonald's cheeseburger?
I had these
From
other
the- in the back
pumpkins
of the
that were
car
like,
for, like,
they're still back
7
there,
months.
fucking raw. Squirrels won't touch them. You know what I mean? I got this other, all my other pumpkins are completely the air inflated beach, dead ass inflated beach ball, like a beach ball at the end of a dead shell.
Celery is part of the trinity in cooking, man.
Beach
You
ball,
got
Yeah, it's the
celery.
mirepoix.
Those other
It's the
pumpkins,
celery, onion,
man.
and carrot, man. It's
Fuck
the
yeah,
mirepoix.
it's like the base of almost everything.
gotta
Rude,
grow
we
that
said.
grow that
Start making
celery
a soup,
good,
man.
and that celery will taste good, and that
Put the
celery
butter
will
in there.
function good, and it'll.
For the mirepoix. Then you're gonna come through and make the roux with it. And get up out of there.
Oh,
Then
dude,
you're gonna have a
that's
nice fucking
necessary.
soup. You
Yeah,
always
man.
need to
Necessary
use
first.
move celery.
You know what?
Boof soup, baby.
You won't taste a lot of those threads if you soup it up too, man.
How
Soup
rude.
it up. Soup, chop
know
it up
what?
nice.
You know what a good substitute for celery is Swiss chard. I eat that just
Not
like
as
celery.
bitey.
Put peanut butter on it.
Charge.
Ants on a log.
Good.
Charge got.
Heck yeah.
Charge got.
These golden raisins.
I
or
dude,
regular
I love
raisins.
peanut butter. Peanut
How
butter
about
on my
chocolate
celery.
chips?
Yeah,
Did you say ants on a log?
I had some peanut butter on celery yesterday. I offered some, but she said no. So
What's
you want
I
another
like
good thing?
that better.
what did I
Yeah,
call
what
it?
goes good with peanut butter? Chocolate.
Did somebody
Called
yell at
Reese's
you for
Bread.
not making the cookies?
Call them ant bars or something.
What do you
like
mean? No, nobody.
Whenever I eat the chocolate chips out of the chocolate chip bag and not make the cookies, somebody mentions it.
Oh, really? I have not heard of this. No, I often eat chocolate chips straight out of the bag.
Dang,
That when-
say
Becca
it.
made homemade. Becca made homemade cookies.
I don't remember yelling.
Showing them off.
Highlight that one sequence.
I don't remember yelling, but I do remember you bringing it up several times.
Just like 8 times.
That's so funny. Ants on a log with chocolate chips and not raisins. Man,
Oh,
I
yeah.
would have been all about that while growing up if my mom had
Man,
said
I've been
that.
doing it since I've been young.
There's
I've
way
been
too
doing
much
it.
effort.
Fun.
Way too much effort with these raisins. And I just take the celery and you got the
Raisins
peanut
are so
butter,
good on
celery. Celery goes in the peanut butter. You munch on that shit.
Red,
Celery
do you
is
hold
like
it like a
dip.
savage or
Wait.
not?
It's
Do you
like a
hold it like
dip.
this?
Oh,
Like
man.
clutch
the
it
whole
in
thing,
like a
one more.
knife?
Stick whole
So
stick.
you hold it,
Get
you know,
your
And then
stick
that bottom
out of
part,
my
that bottom
peanut
part that's a
butter.
little bit more white, it gets a little bit of peanut butter.
Yeah,
He gets a little bit of that. You know,
I do that. I give that to the dogs too. They love that
3
part.
minutes and he'll sit there and he loves
But
it.
bro, it's just one more little bowl of fucking chocolate chips, and you do one more dip, and boom.
Oh, I guess that's a good point. That's a good point. Just the dupe and
It
yeah.
needs more ants, bro.
Maybe we'll just do
Needs more.
cacao nibs. We'll just do cacao nibs and
Whatever that is.
What is
And
that?
or we could dip it in mushroom powder. Now we're talking.
Ooh,
now we're
umami?
building a celery fortress here. We're gonna
There you
celery
go.
it up.
Disgusting as shit, bro. Not
Celery.
even gonna lie.
Maybe
You
maybe
could just you can
I'm
do a
not a
little
fan
bowl.
of this.
You can do a little bowl of peanut butter to hold whatever you want to add, and you could
Maybe
do powders.
maybe
you could do-
Nutella. I'm not a fan
Not
of
Nutella. No, fuck that Nutella shit.
Not
you.
on
All that
celery.
sugar.
Well, I'm just throwing it out there. Some people might like a
Celery.
hazelnut
Get
celery.
that the
type
fuck
of
out.
thing,
No,
but
we're trying
I'm
to be
not
healthy
into that.
here.
Let's go peanut butter. Some cacao nibs, a little mushroom back.
Some aqua fresh.
there.
You want to put mushroom? That's weird.
Yeah, we're good. Well, the celery is gonna just dice out all of the flavor of the mushroom.
You can just
dominates,
dust the
dude.
outside like
Yeah,
they
just
do the
dominates.
joints. Just dust the outside in the fucking powder.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You get
Yeah,
added.
Kingfisher on some super thrifty shit.
You could even
Yeah.
dip it in your blue cheese for your curds and
So
cultures.
Bro, just buy some fucking celery salt. It's just the same, man.
All
Celery
right,
is
so
good.
Exactly, man. But I love how he says, like, keep the celery from takeout wings in the freezer for when the recipe calls for it. Then I don't have to buy it. Like that's a chore that I gotta go buy celery.
pick out wings, man.
It's
I
like
worked
35
last forever.
cents
I worked
for
at the
more
chicken
celery than
restaurant
you
for
eat in a
like
lifetime.
8 years.
Were you getting 2 cases every time? 2 cases of celery, and a case of celery is fucking huge, people.
Oh no, dude! But I don't want to throw them that far under the bus, but everything came pre-chopped and pre-made. I mean, it was
wasn't
through
it
the
real
local,
cooking? It was boiling the bag
through the local food
Ooh.
service. They had the option. You know, do you want the whole celery that your boys gotta boys and gals gotta
wash
and do all the
prep.
stuff, or do you want it pre-chopped and in a vacuum sealed bag? We got pre-chopped vacuum sealed bag shit, unfortunately. But you know what, man? That and a little bit of blue cheese, that was my jam for many years. That's probably why I had so many
gut problems.
That's all.
There's
all that
this
roughage.
cooking show, that sequence that I watch, where the guy takes all the fucking takeout, like ketchups and mayonnaises and all the little packets of stuff, and then he cooks with it. And so he has like a whole drawer, and he goes, and now for the mayonnaise. And then he takes out like the drawer, and he's got them all like organized, and it's called like
mayonnaise.
it's called struggle meals. And it's like this like college guy that just
They used to say that fucking ramens taste like poverty, but that shit tastes like poverty too, man.
Yeah, well, and then he'll make
Here's
stuff
how you
like
make
ramen, but he'll
potatoes.
fancy it up.
Hey,
And then he'll
listen.
say, and then I made this for like, ching.
You know what I always thought
69
was slightly sketch? I always thought that those like mayonnaise and tartar sauce packets, like just kind of like
How are they shelf-stable?
it's slightly slightly sketch like in a restaurant, but like when
It's
you're
all
at like an
oil.
amusement park and it's like outside and it's like 100 degrees and they're just like there. I don't know if I'm gonna use those today. It sucks.
No, those ones are extra good.
They're like
bitey.
clear. You open them and they're just clear. Why? It's
Just oil again.
It's like just yellow and clear. What the fuck?
I like
That's
my
why I don't
gelatinous
eat mayonnaise.
mayonnaise off of a Kardash.
I can remember. I can't remember who it was. I'll say a coworker searching through a drawer at work, pulling out of the condiment drawer, fucking this packet of ketchup that looked about 3 sizes too big.
Oh, like it had disappeared some.
Whatever that is,
Where did it go?
Whatever that is not good. I guarantee you.
All right, who has stepped on a condiment packet and squirted the other side of their leg? I messed up a brand new pair of shoes with like a packet.
I
of
have
ketchup,
done
dude.
that, Red.
Walked on a packet of ketchup and that sucker squirted all up the. I think I've squirted all over
Same.
somebody else too, accidentally walking on it.
The wall, my car,
Just keep moving on.
accidentally in the
Oh,
car.
you got your car
Oh yeah.
on the inside, like it was
Mhm.
on the inside, and you like put
Yep.
your foot on the floor.
Yeah.
All the carpeting and shit.
I'm
love
not a
me
big
some
fan
ketchup.
of. I don't like dipping sauces that much.
Oh, I do.
You like
Dip,
it dry.
Unpopular
dippity
opinion.
do.
I just never. Just
Dippity do with
never
a hair
did.
gel.
I know, man. I remember that shit. It was like pink and blue or something. As soon as I said it, I was like, hey, that's the hair gel. Dippity do. I love some honey mustard, some barbecue sauce, but not mayonnaise. Get that shit out of here.
So what do you do on French fries, Becca? If you don't
I'm a honey mustard,
like,
I
fucking tartar sauce. Oh,
I
sorry.
would always
Tartar
get
sauce.
honey,
Tartar sauce.
like just normal honey for my chicken nuggets, and I would just dip my fries in it too. That was
Oh,
my
wow.
favorite.
I can't be
Honey's
mad
good.
at that. That's good
Yeah.
shit. I can't be
Dude,
mad at
I
that.
feel like I'll dip fries in just about anything. I like dipping
Milk-
fries in cocktail sauce, tartar sauce.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of
Milkshakes.
ketchup, but I like barbecue sauce. I like-
Milkshakes,
almost
ice
always
cream.
Milkshake,
I
frosty.
never get into the
Frosty.
milkshake thing. I have done the mayonnaise thing. Mayonnaise thing's all right, but I prefer the tartar sauce. Get a little bit of the relish in there and just kind of spices it up a little bit better, I suppose.
I thought somebody would say vinegar.
That was the old thing, man. When I was in like my first restaurant
Sequence,
job.
you a vinegar guy?
Never, dude.
I like fair fries with vinegar.
Fair
too.
fries, yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Every
Ew.
now and
It
then.
amazes me how you like vinegar, but how do you not like booch then, man? Because
Every
Ooh.
now and
I like
then,
food.
dude, the restaurant would just ripen up with vinegar, and it's like, oh, there's one of those people in here.
Exactly. They don't come in often. Like,
Don't come in
motherfucker.
often. It's like once every 6 months, dude. The whole
Jesus.
restaurant ripens up, dude. It's like, whoa.
Hey, cleaning some windows out there. What the fuck?
Like just one little packet of vinegar is in the corner of a fucking 3,000 square foot building. Just fucking can just annihilate the whole thing. Hey, I'm not dogging on anybody's preferences. It's good for you. Feel free to use that. It's way better for you than ketchup is, I'm sure.
I use it to clean. I have a bearded dragon. I use like a vinegar solution to clean her cage. So the house is
the
like
house,
vinegar.
right? Yeah. I don't
Vinegar's
mind.
great
I
for
don't
cleaning
mind.
your windows. It's way better to clean your
Coffee
windows.
pot.
It's way
So-
more environmentally conscious than that
Do a
Windex
shot
shit.
of vinegar.
I agree with you. And funny enough, Windex now has a vinegar,
version.
Do they really?
yeah, like Windex with vinegar or some shit.
It's like Miracle Grow Organic.
But
You guys see that Miracle Grow
That you pay
Organic?
$5 for.
but yeah, but
Windex.
Becca, here's a tip for you that I've tried and I do over and over again: is all your citrus peels that you get, just throw in a mason jar and throw like white vinegar over it or whatever you use to clean with, and it draws all the terpenes out. So you'll get, like, for me, usually it's like a lot of limes and shit, so I get that lime smell. So it's not so bad. It's still vinegary, but then
Smart.
but it's still limey. And that stuff, that especially your citrus fruits, those terpenes are really good to help you clean.
Okay.
And so I
They
just
are-
mix
they
that half
are
and half.
Yeah, but Dragon might
They're
not like
solvent.
that smell.
Yeah, I don't
Oh,
know.
that's
about
true.
that.
That's
Probably will
good.
like it more than
Straight vinegar.
I like mix it just a little bit with water.
I mix it 50-50. So like if I have a mason jar, I just dump it out into a measuring cup and then measure the same amount of water and then put it in a spray bottle and use that to clean shit.
Because limonene is limonene, whatever, such a solvent. It will corrode plastic and petroleum based whatever wares. It's not necessarily recommended to use Mylar or plastic bags or anything like that for like the Citrique or something, or this lemon dozy or something that's high in limonene, because it'll actually corrode through the bag and obviously over time. But I mean, I'm sure like there's a reaction, right, that like begins the reaction, so it's already starting to maybe off gas or whatever. A glass is going to be your best bet with any of that limonene and stuff, dude. It is a solvent, that's why they use that's why lemon pledge is lemon pledge and then not like berry pledge. It's not because it's their favorite flavor, it's because it's a solvent.
Sounds like a nice.
I love
Cool
berry,
strain.
berry pledge. If we could get some maybe pine, I'm sure pine is probably equally
Scary.
I used to love Pine Sol. Growing up, my mom used it on like the floor and shit.
Yeah,
Pine
Love
salt.
that smell.
Yeah. Pine too, pine and lime, and it's
I like that smell too.
classically in that like uplifting heady range too.
Yeah, pinene. It's like that fresh, for sure.
So
So
you've been
fresh and
having
so
a lot of
clean.
lemons and oranges and stuff lately, so you got to save them so we can try it.
Yeah, a
I
bunch
think
of
I
rhymes.
probably will Google it to make sure it's okay for bearded dragons, but I don't see why it wouldn't be.
It's kind of a cool way to use your citrus peels, because after that, then I feel that they've been broken down enough. Because I sometimes leave it. It sometimes takes me a month to fill up that jar, sometimes even more. But it stays fucking. It doesn't. I mean, it won't mold. It won't do anything. And I just wait until I fill up that jar, pour out the vinegar, pour out the peels, and then start a new jar.
I think they're pretty well protected with its acidity.
Yeah, and I don't know if much will fuck with vinegar, man. I think you could have a jug of vinegar sitting on the shelf for fucking years and be fine. If you're just using it to
Last
clean.
thought stays preserved. If it doesn't have a bunch of sugar in it.
Pickles. That's how. So like canning and everything, it's a matter of basically killing bacteria, and most of the time, if you're doing a basic boiling, right? If you don't have a pressure canner, you can't get hotter than 212. You basically have to use a brine. You got to use vinegar for the acidity, or if you're using acidic foods like tomatoes, right? You can do a boiling temperature, right? You can do 212. The thing is with tomatoes, you know, when you're canning tomatoes and stuff like that, if you're making a salsa, if you go above a certain percentage of the tomato weight as you know, water weight of something else, you know, peppers, onions, any of that shit, it won't be acidic enough. You may have to actually add a brine or a vinegar or something that you don't want to do to your tomato based salsa, right, that you're canning. Pickles very similarly, you know, you're using vinegar in that sense, and if as long as you keep that ratio of vinegar higher, you don't have to add anything else. You know, you heat that stuff in a boiler, you just boil it. 212 is cool, you know, 10 minutes or whatever, and you're good for years, you know, a good couple years out of that. You kill that bacteria, but the problem is you can't just do it with basic water because bacteria will begin to grow. So how do you can shit that's in water? You have to pressure can. You got to get over 212. You got to can it like 250. So if you have a pressure cooker, you can can anything in water too, you know, and start to preserve it and that stuff. But that's like, acidity is so important just for as a food preservative, you know what I mean? So like vinegar is hell, and like what's cool about that is vinegar is so natural. You can basically make vinegar out of your compost if you really wanted to, you know, through fermenting. You know, if you were doing a KNF or some shit like that for your plants, you get your KNF off one side and you get your vinegars and all that other shit, and basically eventually produce vinegar out of it and alcohol. No, sorry, go ahead.
Do you want to hear a terrible vinegar story?
Oh,
It's with apple cider vinegar, but still similar.
Yes, I do.
I was with friends. We were drinking. My friend handed me a shot. We're like, here, have this shot. It's like, oh, okay. It's like, yeah, cool. And I took it. It was apple cider vinegar.
oh, they got you. Oh, it's
I
rough.
almost immediately was throwing up. Like,
Really?
heaving. It was so bad. Like, just because I wasn't expecting it,
Oh,
and then it was
that's
so
true,
bad,
yeah.
and I was drinking, like I had been drinking.
That's true. Yeah.
It was terrible, and it was on my breath the whole night, and I was like, this is
Terrible.
I can't drink it. I cannot drink it.
People do that though for like health reasons. I don't know if it's apple
Yeah.
cider vinegar, but it's some sort of vinegar that they take. That
I think it
on a
is.
daily
It's apple
basis.
cider.
It
Cider,
is.
cider vinegar and
It's
some
But like
garlic.
a little bit, right? This was like a full.
Like a shot. I think.
No, like
people
chat's
do
gonna be full
Yeah.
of people calling you a pussy. On
That was
Look at Wheatus.
that was me
That's
telling you that story, Painted Lady.
fine, but it was not what I was expecting. So
I know. No,
that-
I have friends that do that, and I was like, really? I don't know. I don't
Immune
know.
booster.
Sounds awful.
Yeah. Shot of cider vinegar, chop up a garlic clove or two.
Oh,
Put it in
Jesus.
there.
Yeah, let's make it
Ooh.
work.
Soak a peppercorn in
Make it
there for
work.
the
Yeah,
afternoon.
made.
Yeah, man. Chop a peppercorn in half, soak that sucker in there for the afternoon, and toke that sucker
No
back.
red is
Red, you're a wild man.
okay,
Not
maybe
bad.
if I was ready for it, like I'd have to like convince myself, like, okay,
Yeah, you don't
don't
surprise
do
That's
it,
people.
like
right?
I got this.
Crack an
Yeah.
anchor bolt too,
That-
red.
But I thought
No,
it was
that's a
vodka.
mind fuck.
Oh my
I-
gosh.
I've had that happen. I ordered an unsweetened iced tea from McDonald's, and they'll give me a sweet tea, dude. And just, whoa, blow me
You
back.
get a
man.
tea instead of a Coke or vice
Yeah.
versa.
Oh yeah, vice versa.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine.
I can see where that would be disgusting, Becca, especially after drinking. I'm surprised you
Yeah.
kept it down.
I was like, I took it and I was like, that was weird. And then
That was weird.
and
That's
then
weird
it just,
alcohol,
I started
guys.
like feeling it, and it was weird.
Oh, it burns too, though. That's the thing. Like, it's not just
I was like-
it doesn't just taste. Like, yeah, it'll burn. You know what I mean? Like, it's
Aromatic.
hella acidic. You know, and you could, I suppose, depending on like the quality of your gut health or something, you could have digestive issues. You know, I mean, it could cause some heartburns or something like that. You know, if it hits you the wrong way, or if you've already been eating nothing but like potato chips and salsa and stuff like that all day, it's
You've
definitely.
just been drinking
Oh.
before, and that's it. And been
Yeah.
super dehydrated already.
Yeah, this was like
Definitely.
this was years ago, and I would been drink. It was like a party. We were outside. It was with my friends, and
Right.
like, why would you not tell me? Just
was a
ask.
gag.
You gotta wash that one down with another shot.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what I did. I can't even remember.
Give me some
Sounds
real
like you were at a party
alcohol.
with like like a bunch of friends and one asshole. Is
It
what
was.
it sounds like.
It was like I worked at a summer camp for years and years, and a bunch of people had a house downtown, And so I went there, and everybody was there. It was like a big camp party with all these camp people.
Camaraderie.
Supposed to be my
work
friends.
Party. Camaraderie. Work camaraderie. Sounds like.
Well, I mean, it was like not in the summertime, so it wasn't during work, but it was fine.
Oh,
Not my real friends, I guess. And that's, it showed now.
Yeah.
It's all from that. That's why I know.
That's the same person that's dosing people with LSD at festivals 10 years later.
Yeah, man.
I'm not literally saying that. I don't know for sure. It's just a similar
I
mentality.
know that
Here,
guy.
man. No, it's the you know who it is. It's the guy that goes, "Here, man, hit this bowl real quick," and it's got salvia in it. and shit.
Salvia.
Yeah.
Dude, I feel like an asshole. I fucking, my buddy is not happy for me. I did that to a buddy one time.
You did?
I was young and
Sequence, can I get the sound effect, please?
it didn't have fresh salvia in it. It had like residual shit in it. And I was like, try this. This is why. I told him it wasn't weed, but it was something else. You got a sound effect. I love it. Yeah. That's why I preach not doing that shit, And the karma came back and hit me heavy up. So I got mine.
I just can't believe you never told us that story.
I'm sure I have many.
All right, well,
Late
I've never
sessions
heard that
ago.
story.
I had a professor in
I'm pretty
college
sure I've told
who
you.
got dosed at a party in the 60s.
Oof.
And she was telling us about, I don't know.
Wait a minute. Did you just say you're in college in the 60s?
Yeah, dude. That's
Okay.
exactly what I said. I was in college in the 60s. Fucking, I'll give you the name of my plastic surgeon. So, Jesus.
You
Anyway,
look good for 76, painted lady.
thanks, Gilbo. It's called Peloton. Anyway,
Peloton.
Look it up.
no, but she got dosed when she was in college at this party, and she woke up after like months in a coma. It just
Wow.
knocked her out like completely, and they have no idea what happened. Like
Months?
she
Holy
about
shit.
some crazy story about how she was approached by some guy that said he was from the FBI, and he had this briefcase, and he took her in the
Sounds
other
like
room.
MK
and
Ultra.
next thing you know, she woke up like months later, and man, she was
What?
the coolest English
MK Ultra.
professor I've ever
Yeah.
had.
Who is this
Definitely
chick?
some
She
CIA
was an
shit.
English professor at MSU.
Did
English professor at MSU. No, but
Did
she
she
Was she
say
a
whether she
professor
was
at the
like different
time?
after? Like, did she say
no,
like
now.
she might have like a different attitude before,
She was
so
in-
after she was changed by it in any way, or
What school was she in? Was she
Potent Ponic Steve says too much strychnine would do that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I don't know.
what did you
Maybe.
say? LSD with too much strychnine?
Mhm.
Yes.
She
Interesting.
was a professor when I was going to school, and yeah, I mean, I don't know. She didn't really say if it changed her or not, but she was very much a free spirit anyway. Like the books that we read in that college class were so cool. We read like Helter Skelter. We read Papa John about the mamas and the papas. We read some
I thought that was about
cool-
pizza.
Wild.
Yeah, and then we
And
got to write
racism.
anything that we wanted, any kind of subject. We did this video, and I did mine about like a tattoo parlor, yeah. And so I went to this tattoo shop when I was getting a tattoo and did a whole video. Like she was the coolest professor ever, but yeah, she got dosed and was in a coma for months.
Yeah,
That's
it's fucked
crazy.
up. Super fucked up.
Yeah, so maybe that's what happened to her, Steve.
What is
Yeah.
strychnine?
Could be.
Rat poisoning.
Rat
Rat
poison.
poisoning. Yeah.
Well, it's used in rat poisoning. I'm not sure if it has any
Essentially.
other.
Why would it be
It's the whole
used
stomach crampy
with
thing. Yeah.
LSD?
Because it'll
It's
kill ya.
probably an isolator or a separator of some sort, I imagine.
it'll kill you.
Most of those synthetic drugs are made out of some really crazy shit.
Yeah. From
What
my
was the-
understanding, like it's because you can't just get ergotamine or something like that. Like they used to have a very simple precursor that you'd be able to get, and now the way that it's the precursor's scheduled, it makes it so you have to go through these. Like I've read reports of people like using all kinds of different chemicals from like the shelves on automotive stores and Home Depot and shit like that, basically just to extract precursors. You know what I mean? Just to utilize it for separator solutions, just to get. And back in the day, you'd be able to go to a pharmacy and get chemistry equipment. You'd be able to get all your, whatever in strychnine that they need for the isolator. You'd be able to get that shit. And you just all that shit's scheduled now to the point where people have to be crafty, and that's how they be crafty. They find other shit, they brake cleaners or whatever kind of shit, and then
Now you're talking crocodile and shit.
Then they pull stuff out of it. They isolate something from the brake cleaner so that they can use it to isolate something else. Exactly, chemistry. So
Becca's staring at the joint.
Man,
puff pass.
I'm so used to it, guys. It's okay.
I can imagine.
Torture.
Man, this Lime River Rose has got my head
okay.
feeling like it's floating off.
I got the
she's
dab
been
man.
puffing on the dab rig.
There you go.
I got the halftime song rigged up, so we'll be able to play that today.
We can actually play it this time. Okay.
She goes dab rig, I go doobie.
Really pulling out all the stops for you tonight. Played the wrong intro song.
I mean, yeah, we're getting 3 musical interludes. Fuck.
Got the fail horn. We got the
3 musical interludes and a fucking
Art
horn.
muted.
You don't have anything else on the board, do you?
I said you did the sound effects too, man. Come on.
I got the outro. So
Oh, there was a sound effect. That was cool.
I got a whole song that the crowd hasn't heard before.
Are we gonna play
Shout
a
out
game?
to Catatronic.
Shout out, Cat.
What do you want to play? Duck, Duck, Goose?
Oh.
Duck,
No.
duck, duck, duck.
Here, painted lady, pretend to grab a. Do you have a joint?
No, I
Pretend
don't.
to
I would
grab
like
one.
Okay.
But then you needed one. See, the
have to
game's not
pull
going to
the
work
joint.
because you need a joint too.
We have
You got-
done that before.
You got to grab it from below. Becca's underneath you. Oh, there you go. Yeah, Becca just handed you a bong. That was weird. She handed you a joint and you grabbed a bong. Now that's super trippy.
Normalize not passing joints. That's a movement Red can get behind.
That's why
That's what I'm
sometimes we
saying.
have two.
I don't want to share germs.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that's
Share
what
my
it is.
germs.
So many
Germs.
germs.
He is
Get him.
Red, what the fuck are you doing? Direct eye contact and a firm handshake at the end of the night?
That's
Yeah.
the new
That's
normal.
High five.
Signed contract.
She won't even say
Contractual.
shit either.
Wow. No man, yeah, I've got the COVID warrior bracelet. I
Say
swear.
those look like
it's
the Wonder Woman fucking
Covered for your
reflectors.
bracelet.
Yeah, man. It's like COVID.
Where's your bake sound?
It's worn me off so far. It's working.
Cheers, Brett.
nice.
So fuck you.
COVID or Conan? Conan?
Same. What else?
Conan inspired bracelet. Or a Johnny Depp inspired bracelet.
I just keep blowing as many cannabinoids all over the house and the air around me
Yep.
to just catch anything.
Yeah.
A few
Well,
gets in my lungs, but I'm blowing most of it out.
Dope.
Not leaving the
Podentonics
house
just shouted
healthy.
out a pretty cool book I recently got. Tiki. Tryptamines I Have Known and Loved. Written by Alexander Shulgin, Sasha Shulgin. Pretty cool. I've been listening. I got both of his rights. Tikal took forever to come in, but I got Pikal probably at the end of Pikal, phenethylamines I Have Known and Loved. Sorry, these are acronyms. Sound like strange names. Tikal is also a old community, ancient.
What the ancient Mexican thing?
Ancient Mexican.
Yeah,
community.
Tikal.
Yeah, Tikal. Which is also the acronym for the book that Shulgin wrote. But anyway, there's the Pikal is awesome. I've been listening to that one on Audible just because I don't have enough time to sit down with the book. But I want to keep it around for reference because, dude, it's fantastic what it actually contains. Tikal similarly contains awesome, valuable information. In just the beginning, they talk about just tons of research and work that they were doing with mescaline. lots of research was done with mescaline back in like the 50s and 40s, 50s, and into the 60s, probably in the 30s too. I'd imagine some, but they were, just work with peyote. And dude, some of the stuff that he's talking about, the way that they would synthesize when they first synthesized like any type of cannabinoids, like synthetic THC offshoots and things like that, they would use terpene. They would isolate different things out of terpenes and isolate stuff from like dill and like all kinds of different like botanicals and weird things, and like literally synthesize THC from other parts of nature. Super fucking interesting stuff, man. Like basically there's all kinds of other like phytocannabinoids in nature, so they would like basically go to phytocannabinoids in nature and pull them out and restructure them to mimic THC.
We love Hamilton Morris.
Yeah.
Love him. I love him.
Yeah,
that's the guy that has the show on Vice, right?
Yeah,
Hamilton.
Hamilton. Potent Ponics talking about it. Okay.
Hamilton's pharmacology.
Hamilton's
Pharmacopoeia.
Pharmacopoeia.
I can't say
I love that show.
He also has a podcast. He does it on
Does he?
YouTube. Yep.
Cool. Yeah, I love that show on I used to watch it on Vice, and it was so cool. I used to travel all over the world and go to like these
What's the name of that
jungles and deal with
podcast?
these people that were like not thrilled to see this crazy nerdy scientist
In his all white outfit.
and his all white every time. What the hell, dude? It like through this jungle with his all white high watery pants.
Oh, it's on Patreon. Okay, you got to pay for it.
What's that, Scobo?
Uh,
Morris?
his podcast.
Yes.
It's available. You can find recordings of it. Like his thing is like he kind of wants it to be available as much as, but like he's not trying to limit it from anybody. So he's like not taking it down anywhere that's being posted. So if you can find it places, there's a lot of places to find it for free.
Podcast is paid. It's paid one on his Patreon.
Oh, his podcast. Okay, his podcast.
But he
All
has,
right, never
like,
mind. I thought you were talking
4-hour
about
interviews.
Hamilton's Pharmacopoeia.
Oh yeah,
specifically.
That's on Hulu.
It's on Hulu. I think it's on Amazon Prime. It's on YouTube. Multiple episodes.
It's a really, really cool show. It's really
his podcast is
informative. Like just drugs I've never even heard of, man. Like,
well, that's the
so
thing. Like that book that Potent Ponics was talking about, Tikal and Pikal, the two books that Alexander Shulgin wrote, is literally loaded with thousands of just structural differences of chemicals that are just, constantly, like even today, being worked on and worked with and released and put out there, tabs of whatever blotter paper that could potentially be one of 1,000 different offshoots of whatever research chemical that just so happened to be designed that week. It's never the case where it's actually LSD or it's actually, even if they tell you that it's ALD 52 or something like that, it might not even be that.
Was that a bell, Skilbo?
That was
Almost.
Ready?
Almost.
Jesus Christ.
It was a
Let's get my torch.
Premature
Yeah, I
bell.
forget my-
premature bell.
Premature
problem.
tintinabulation instead of the other. Yeah, that's what that is. That's your
I
word for
mean,
the day, guys. Tintinabulation is the sound of ringing bells.
That's what it's called.
Yeah, tintinabulation.
Wow.
That's
Check that off your bingo card.
ding.
Hey, it's an educational program, right? Or is it just strictly entertainment?
I was thinking about a broken bell.
Is anyone really entertained?
A bell is very
Is anyone really entertained anymore? No.
A bell is a very cool instrument,
Oh, you're
man.
not entertained.
It needs to like pretty much be complete to like give its tone, because if it has a fracture or
Hey,
a
Red, why
crack,
don't you
it
get
goes
that big
tong,
fucking bell out again?
tong.
I was just
It's
thinking.
moved. It's
got the
downstairs.
song.
I hear bells all the time. Well, actually, just like high
That's called
pitched.
tinnitus, is what
Where
that's
Where is
called.
the
And
bell? There you go.
hashtag.
Woo.
It's called tinnitus.
Can do the music again.
Hey Bobby, hey Stoney, you guys want to get high, man? Do you guys want to smoke some hash, man? Oh, man. like the hash, man. It smell good, man. Yeah, man, how about that? You ever try that, man? Yeah, I like the hash, man. Oh, it's a good thing, man. Yeah. Oh, I like the flower, man. You can fly high in the sky. Yeah, what about the shadow, man? You guys, what do you like? Talk about the hashtag comment. Talk about the hashtag comment. Hashtag comment.
Give myself a headband there.
Stoney in the chat, they're doing the percussion and vocals.
I like the blind shit, man. I put it on everything, man. Me too, man. I like
So LG in chat says going into week 3 found spider mites put out for Stimulus Plus. Should I get some more on the way to reapply? I think that wouldn't be a bad idea.
talk about the hashtag comment. Hashtag comment.
Yeah, I got time for one more dab real quick.
I'm so high, man. Oh, man. I feel
Stimulus are pretty cheap usually too.
I wonder if the people on the computer at home are as high as we are, man. The mouse in their head, man. I'm bleeding on my eyes.
I would say probably yes on the reapplication, huh? Hit him again.
Bleeding up my eyes. I need to bend it.
Talk about the hashtag comment. Talk about the hashtag comment.
It's probably never too late to apply them, right?
Talk about the hashtag comment.
No, I mean that's kind of the perfect thing because the persimilis they only eat spider mites. That's all they eat.
Hashtag comment.
So they eat the spider mites, then they die.
Yeah, you're probably better off having those than spider mites.
Yes, yes.
Hashtag comment. Look out, man. Hashtag.
They're asking. They want to know what everybody's smoking on. I was smoking trim tray hash.
Got Lime River Rose.
What kind of concentrate was in that? Banger ranger. Some apothecary. Oh,
That
Skipper.
sounds good.
Damn, Skibble went way back for his fucking day. Holy
Some
shit!
ancient shit, right?
Some-
Hey, it still tastes good.
oh, what is it?
It's mint chocolate
The
chip.
writing's so small.
It's that same one I was smoking. the
Mint
other day.
chocolate chip from apothecary.
Which you
70
said was very minty, right?
Man, what I'm
Um,
drinking is minty, so I don't know if I'll. Ooh, damn. Whoa. It's got a.
Whoa. What's everybody feel about those square jars? Yay or nay? I'm a nay on them.
Same.
I love these
Uh,
things, dude.
I don't care.
Yeah, dude. This is what we got.
They're a little annoying to open, but they're okay.
They are.
They're like the easiest thing ever. What are you talking
They
about?
hold. They
They're
hold.
old.
You're in your 20s.
Exactly.
They hold.
They're the easiest thing ever. And I don't know about the easiest thing ever.
Oh
Come
my
on.
gosh. You just go like, you just have to tap the right side. and
Don't buy time.
What you're doing right there at our age becomes difficult. Like, especially using your fucking hands all the time as a grower, man.
Man.
Your
Oh,
hands.
No, man.
What do I do? I don't
Well,
know.
the other
Just wait.
side doesn't work. The other side does not. The one side, it's not much of a squeeze though. It's barely a squeeze.
Well, there's like 4 or 5 different designs on the square jars. I've had
Yeah.
some that are really
Yeah.
fucking hard to
Oh,
still.
I've had some where it's the square jar, but you still have to push down.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those
I
ones
hate
are
those.
challenging.
No, this is a.
Like this.
Boop.
This one's square.
Yep.
Yep.
I don't like. I just. Yeah.
This one is weird.
Maybe if it had our sticker on it. This is a Calyx container. I got all of ours were from Calyx, and they design. Oh, here's one right here. Boom.
Hey.
There it is. Hey.
You just want to blow us a kiss? What was that?
That's the wrong side.
That wasn't the guy I wanted.
Exactly.
without the twist.
These are
They-
not good droids.
What's nice is this. It's gasket.
It's got the gasket inside.
Yeah.
PTB seal. It's
Gasket.
really
And
important
then,
that we try to open them the correct way because the other way will be very frustrating.
yeah, the push down and twist anything is incredibly more difficult than this. This is just has such a it's you know, you don't even have to use your fingers. Like I've gotten these open like using my wrist and all kinds of different ways. I've been really trying to see
Right, because you deal with patients and
Yep.
as a
Yep,
character, where you
exactly.
want to make sure that it's easy access.
got them doing this, all kinds of shit. I'm trying to get these things open. It's way easier than using anything.
How many of those units are you having to buy at once for those?
Like
500?
250,
250?
I think I
Okay.
had to buy was the MOQ on that.
Yeah.
which was cool. I mean, I think that Baked
bought, like,
split a
50.
chunk of them
Yeah,
from me.
there you go.
know? So yeah, I'm doing for cost, and it helps me out. If anybody else from the team wants some, I still have a stash. It's going to take me a while to go through them. So a couple hundred.
Until
of
we
those.
start making our
Till we start doing the events, man.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
For-
what's up
for
with
the
the
most
press?
part.
What's up with the press?
soon enough, it's buried. So it's just all about getting it unburied.
Yeah.
And the whole garage is just buried basically. Holidays happen, so now it's 0 degrees out. So I'm not out there breaking down boxes. I literally have a pathway that opened up because we finally moved furniture into the house, and the pathway opened up, and then it filled back up with a whole bunch of boxes. So that goes. Got to break it all down.
Oh,
I don't throw that shit away.
If only we
All that
took
shit
our
goes out to the
recycling
garden.
out when
So
we're supposed
no,
to.
that's not recycling. Now that stuff's waiting for spring. All that stuff goes
Oh,
out.
Man, I'm so stoked about spring.
That's
I'm already thinking
Dude, it's
about
January.
trees
Making
and
material.
like what I'm gonna plant and my flowers.
When do you
and-
consider spring? Like
Well,
that
it's not
thaw in
fucking
February?
cold anymore.
March.
March?
Pretty much when it's not cold anymore.
my
So May.
I guess when things start
Hour.
My birth
springing up
month.
out of the ground, when I start
Our
seeing
birth
like
month.
my I don't know, my hostas and that kind of stuff springing up, or like tulips and that kind of stuff. That's spring.
Ditch lilies.
Ditch lilies.
We
Yeah.
just looked through our seeds for planting vegetables and herbs and lettuces and corn and
I'm
Yeah.
excited.
literally everything.
I'm gonna get some lettuce. Start some. I shouldn't just say lettuce. I'm gonna get some greens. I'm gonna get some greens.
Tony.
Started up. Hardies, spinach, some chards, some stuff like that.
Yep, I'm excited.
Some lettuces.
Shredder's being all fucking perfect with March 21st there, man.
Being real
I'm-
scientific about shit.
I know. Like the calendar and shit. Jeez.
Nobody
It's
cares
a fucking
about
stoner
that.
show, bro. Be flexible.
That never feels like spring. It always snows in March.
It's a good.
smells in
It's a
April,
good
man,
day.
sometimes.
That first day of spring. It's a great day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's the day I came into existence.
Crickets.
Yes.
I'm trying to keep up in chat. J. Patrick says Spartan did the roof just kick. Yeah, pretty much. The RSO is kicked in full force.
It's doing its thing.
About an
man.
hour in,
Well, then I hit that bowl of keep, and it was like both the same time hitting me.
You're still working on those trays, aren't you?
Pretty good. Yeah, I got not very much left. I got just a tiny bit left in here.
Shit, you've been going hard at it, bro.
So how do I get there?
Yo, Jesus, pull it back a
Yeah.
little.
The thing was almost full.
Yeah, not anymore.
That's so aggressive.
Yeah, pull it back a little. Jeez. Yeah. For those of us that are visually impaired.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah, I got a
Not
little bit
much.
to go.
Not much.
You did a number on that.
Yeah, I don't give up, so it'll be cleared here before too long.
Do you have any more of those harvest more trim bins to clean out that you got from work?
I now am the proud owner. I've got 2 sitting right here. I think I have 3 more, maybe. I don't know. I have at least 4 probably, but they're all cleaned out.
Oh,
I believe, except for the one I've been using. So, and then I have another jar. It's not as full. It's a little bit fuller than the other one. This is when I was starting to clean my trim bin out with. So I got.
Let me get my readers out.
How do you clean those off?
The bowls? I mean, the containers, you mean? Or what are you talking about?
The trays themselves.
Oh, I just use a fucking parchment paper, man. So I have a piece of parchment paper sitting down in there. So when it's time to clean them out, I just pick up the parchment paper, fold it in half, shake everything down, and just dump it into one of these.
Yeah, I get a really fine brush to do mine with. I scrape it down, and then at the end, I'll hit it with the brush, get it all, and like you said, over the parchment paper, and then pour that right into the jar itself.
I find that brush. I do use a brush to brush down the parchment paper sometimes. Sometimes it'll stick, but I find the brush transfers a lot of static into the plastic.
Here's a good question for you: have you ever cleaned the screens on any of your trim trays, trim bins?
Yes.
Good.
ISO.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you can just buy new ones too. It just depends on what you want to do.
I got an old one I could replace. I actually want to get one of the half-inch size screens for it. Because I got an old trim bin and I actually have the.
What do you mean by half-inch size screen?
Oh, it actually has half-inch squares, so that you can, run your trim nug over it, let all your bottoms or B grades fall through, and anything that's smaller than a half-inch will fall through that, which is going to include trim and all kinds of other shit.
When we went to Freedom Green,
and
they were packaging things up. She had that. It looked like a calendar.
Exactly.
It had those holes on the bottom.
Size,
yeah.
Right.
But you don't usually see those though for sale. So.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe you can find them on Amazon. You might be able to find them in like a Webster store.
It's gotta be for something else. We don't know what it is.
Probably find it for Webster stores. I asked her what they were for. It's very specifically they're just like food.
Since it's for cannabis, I'm sure they're going to charge like $46.
Food grade strainers. Yeah. You can make
the
them
boiled peanuts, right?
Yeah, man, it's the same size as dude. Just get yourself a light filter. Go to your hardware store and get a fluorescent light filter. Get a 2-foot by 4-foot light filter. Cut out your own. You can DIY one as big as you want. But Harvest Right or whoever the hell that is, whoever makes that
Harvest More.
Harvest More. Yeah.
I like your mug.
They make one that actually fits
my lid mug.
Fits that trim tray, which is kind of cool. But yeah, I mean, you just get yourself a sheet of that, size screen if you wanted. So basically just a light filter. The same stuff you see in your hallways in high school, Look up at the fluorescent lights. Got that. Well, maybe today it's LEDs, but us back in the day, that square filter over the lights.
It could be the gas lamps. And
probably got them in basements.
You could probably DIY it with that plastic hardware cloth, like landscaping stuff, the big squares.
Yeah, you can do it with that. That stuff's metal, and it might corrode and get weird unless you can actually get it
out of plastic
or something.
Like
What's
nylon.
that?
I've gotten that out of nylon.
Oh, out of nylon. Okay, yeah.
You get down to 1/4 inch, and if you're lucky, you can find 1/8 inch. But I haven't been able to find 1/8 inch every time I've looked. But I've seen 1/4 inch. I used to use that to screen my worm castings.
Yeah, you don't want that to be too small. You'll just be there for fucking days.
Yeah, but then you have some badass castings.
Oh yeah.
I was looking for the 1/8 because I was wanting to make some badass, because that'll get the
cocoons out. Yeah.
Yeah, so you don't end up with a bunch of worms in your pots.
We have so many questions in chat that it's hard for me to pick one to answer right now.
Oh, have we had
I'm
questions?
being facetious, guys. If you got anything.
I was gonna say, I thought I've been paying attention. I didn't see them.
I know, that's what I was looking too.
Everybody's just on cruise control. It's a Monday night. It's 12:15. You know what I mean? Everybody's pushed back in a cut. You're either rolled up and smoking, or you're getting ready to.
Man, this Lime River Rose is making the
Pushed
top
you
part
back.
of my head feel like it's gonna float off.
Is this
Is
your
that
first
what
time
yours
really going
did,
at it?
Spartan? That cuvee?
What did you say? I'm sorry. Detroit River Right was calling me cheap in chat.
Uh-oh. Did your cuvee, was it really a head high? Mine feels like it's gonna float off.
I don't remember. I think it was. Yeah, I think it was more. I
I
don't
wish
remember.
mine
I
feel
just
that
remember
way.
the flavor. It was like that Tootsie Roll.
I want that Mr. Nacky weed where his head's like a little balloon. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Some
that's
of the
kind
weight
of
off
what
my
it feels
shoulders.
like.
You know, Baked can do that perfectly, probably, right?
Oh, I'm sure he can. He's probably got that like scene saved on his phone. He'd show me a video of it.
He went to bed about 4 hours ago, though.
Oh, for sure, dude. For
As soon as
sure.
the fucking Wheel of Fortune went off, he did. Too.
And he probably got a nap in too.
Oh my god.
All caught up on Roseanne.
Woo.
What kind of
Golden
tea are
Girl.
you making over there, Becca?
Roseanne's been off the air for like 27 years.
No way. I watched it as a kid.
Peppermint tea.
Yeah, do you want my tea back?
No, I don't want your tea bag. I was just gonna say, what kind
Tea
of
bag.
tea
Most
are
of
you
it gooching.
Yeah,
Teabag.
teabag action.
Yes.
Late
Slap it
session.
on his forehead.
making? Just stuck your
Yeah.
tea bag in my tea.
What is it with people not
Unsolicited
respecting your
teabag.
boundaries, Red?
I'm sorry.
That's like a Mark and Turquoise.
I don't want it
there, Red.
either.
I'm stuck to it. I'll be back. I have to add more water in my.
He's so nice to me.
That's why I have a trash can right next to my computer.
We should.
this doesn't go in the trash can. This
No.
goes in the compost.
Yeah, we do. We compost it.
Not enough hot water.
Oh, then you have 2 trash cans, and then
We've got
And a
the whole
compost bin over
we've
here.
got multiple.
We do kind of. We could have put it in an ashtray because we compost that too.
Yeah, actually, my ashtray consists of apple cores, roaches, and actually a full joint that's not gonna get smoked. All of this goes right into my compost bin.
That's the one from last night, isn't it?
Yeah,
It is.
It's actually
I'm just gonna boof that one.
all this has to go in the compost bin. So,
Wicking.
Well,
well,
now Red knows what it's like to be teabagged.
and then yeah, the tea bags. I have tossed tea bags in the ashtrays. Here's another ashtray. We have more. Here, if anybody else wants to see more roaches and incense sticks.
There's
Ashtrays.
another one. We have a
Another
lot
ashtray.
of ashtrays. Do you guys have a lot of ashtrays?
Oh, here's another ashtray.
Like
Just
a
two.
lot?
Ashtrays and
We're gonna
lighters.
turn this
I
into
have-
a meme.
I have
Ready?
2. I've got one that
I'm not
kind
even
of
gonna
travels.
move. I'm just gonna keep.
I got
pulling
this
ashtrays
big
out of
one.
my ass.
Oh, cool.
I have 2.
We literally have a whole cabinet because we got a bunch from his
Oh,
grandma.
within reaching distance.
And
Oh,
I
vintage
like
70s
I like
ones.
to thrift stuff like cool glasses. My friend has a resale shop, and I have gotten so many old ashtrays. Like my favorite thing.
Dude, old
Ashtrays
candy
should be a
dish.
Huge thing. Like,
Yeah, it's
because
so
everyone smoked.
there's so
Yeah.
many cool ones.
Yeah.
I wish we had more.
The old one.
Dude, I have some super
they
dope
are
fucking
actually
70s
Really
ashtrays.
dope
But we
ashtray.
legit have 4 in front of us.
Big table ashtrays and shit.
I do. I'll go get it. Hold on.
We have 4 in front of us and 2 beside us, and another probably 16 underneath the table that's beside us.
Gilbo's about to come back and hit us with a weird flex. You
I
guys
just
ready?
bought 2 more too.
Oh, I'm sure he's gonna.
We're
Come.
like, look how big my ashtray is.
It's gonna be of gilded marble,
We had that. We had a really
Mermaids.
cool stone one.
mermaid.
I brought this
swirling.
back from Nam.
It's gonna be some dented tin fucking.
It's gonna be it's a whole table.
It's just a
whole
chiseled
table-
out tree trunk.
table ashtray.
I brought this
Kind of-
back with me.
It's actually, I had a nice flower stand. It was a plant stand, and I put it on my front porch next to our couch, and filled it with sand. And it was a cigarette butt, joint butt, roach. You know, put out your cigars in the plant
Gross.
stand ashtray out on the front porch. You know, and I had this weird dream that it was flying off in the wind and being taken, and I couldn't catch it, and the wind was too strong. I had to hold on to the porch. Yep, there it is. That's sweet, Skilbo.
That's sweet, Skilbo.
Very cool.
It's so clean.
It's a Zodiac one. That's really cool.
Yeah, super
You can
cool.
tell he doesn't use it.
No, I don't use this one. No,
That's so cool.
but it's
Yeah,
definitely
that's really
70s
cool.
vintage.
Hell yeah.
very cool. I dig
Where's
that.
where's the big one?
I like that scribble. I'm not sure. Over there on the table, maybe.
Now sit it somewhere where you run into it with your chair and break it.
Don't do that.
No.
He wouldn't put it back. He's smart.
So I just got 2 more ashtrays. They're like black obsidian. That's what she said, which is just cool.
Yeah, no, you break 'em.
Energy. Don't break them.
This one is one of my favorites because it's like a little bowl.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I do like that one a lot. That's definitely a old cigarette ashtray.
Oh yeah, and this one.
The amber glass.
I
Do you
want
guys
to
know what trench art is? Have you ever heard of trench art?
Actually, my favorite one is this one.
Trench art is like what shit
World War
people used to do, like World War I and World War II. So
Oh, never mind.
Grandpa Skilbo was
Where's
in
that, like,
sort of
smoke
like
glass one?
China, India, Burma part in like
I
1943.
like this one because it's super.
So he has an actual artillery shell that's cut, and it's got like the engineering thing on it, and it's got the coins. I'm gonna go grab it real quick and bring it over. I've had it since I was
so
like
many
10.
patches.
Dude, yeah, I want
You
to
seen
see
it?
this.
No? Okay.
Yeah, I want to see it.
Like over here.
Hell yeah. I still have a whole bunch of my grandma's old
The
stuff.
ashtray hour.
None of my parents
Good
wanted
Lord.
it. Like they didn't want any of their old
Yeah,
like
this one-
antiques
this
and
one,
stuff. And it's just kind of like,
Not this one.
Red, are you talking over everybody?
No, no. No, sorry.
You're talking while everybody else is talking. Mute your ass. Yeah, anyway. So I don't remember what I was fucking talking about. Something about my grandma.
You're talking about
Antiques,
nobody else
antiques.
wanted. Yeah, like nobody else wanted her.
You should have just
antiques
kept
anymore.
talking and let me go. Nobody was listening to me.
Check it out.
That is sweet, Skilbo.
So it's
Yeah,
an
yeah.
artillery shell.
Oh,
Used to have
Whoa.
coins on all 3 sides of it, just all full of joints.
Whoa.
That
But
is
it's
so
like a bazooka
cool.
shell. Yeah,
Really cool.
pretty dope.
Super cool.
I've had it forever, man.
What?
Does it say on the bottom any like info about it?
I was just gonna ask what year.
This is. Hold on, I gotta empty the fucking.
Dump
drawers.
it.
I'm curious to what year, if not it was manufactured, what year that shell is at least from.
It's from like 1943. So I put some felt
Oh.
things on the bottom, but it has Chinese characters on it.
Whoa.
It's a Chinese
Wow.
artillery shell. It's heavy as fuck,
Oh,
dude.
wow.
This is super fucking heavy.
That's
Shit.
cool.
So
There's a
cool.
primer in the middle. Yeah,
So you've had that for how long and you haven't deciphered that Chinese yet?
30. I probably had this for like 30, almost 40 years.
he's
Yeah.
got a tattooed on his ass, man.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
His motto.
So the other cool thing about this is if I hit this with like some brasso, it will
Yeah.
shine like new money.
Oh. You
Brasso.
send me a good picture of it, I might be able to figure out what the characters are.
I can do that.
With my phone.
Is Brasso a product
It's
that's
made in
sells
China.
in this century?
Brasso.
It just sounds like something that's like a million years ago. Is what it sounds like.
He had that shit sitting on his shelf as a kid.
Well, wait, I've got that too. He's
Dad
gonna bring
had
that. He's gonna blow my
his
mind with
shelf
some Brasso,
as a
whatever
kid.
that is.
Oh my god, that was funny.
the hand-me-down degreaser that sits in the garage from generation to generation. generation.
It's like the best shit ever, though. Like,
My grandparents
so
just used
freaking crazy.
toothpaste. Toothpaste will shine all that shit up.
I've heard of people using toothpaste for
It's
everything.
abrasive. Yeah, it'll work.
Put it in a-
CDs.
Put it in a cup of Coca-Cola.
CDs.
Yeah, that
man.
too.
Use some soft scrub.
It's blast from the
Show
past.
and tell.
You got a little
Show and tell on the MBGS.
plastic mushroom cup.
But it's like a fabric in there. This was vintage from a resale shop too.
Yeah, they did all
Oh, I
kinds of
remember those
weird
cups.
stuff back in the
Uh-huh.
what year is that? Probably
Some of
70s.
those mushrooms look really questionable.
80s
Eat
probably.
it.
Yeah.
With the plastic, yeah.
Did you say some of those mushrooms looked questionable?
Oh yeah. Some of them were really specifically shaped.
Some of them
Yeah, I guess
were.
I do see that. Little phallic.
What?
Just a little-
Becca.
She uses the proper
on, I
terminology, and you
used
correct
the
her.
language.
It's very
One.
appropriate.
God.
That's like a word. That's like the word that my mom uses. Come on.
Yeah, it's like phallic. How
Can
is
you
that?
use that in a sentence?
It's like Jesus. That's tame as fuck for this show.
Becca's mind
Only
is
the
always
tamest.
in the gutter. Yeah.
Always.
Terrible.
There we go. Potent
I got
Comics is right
mushrooms
on
on
that
my
one.
shirt too. My
Maria
matching
Sabina.
Stilbo
Yeah.
shirt.
That's what I'm saying.
I know I was gonna be a twinsy with you tonight, but my shit's already boxed up and ready to move.
That's okay. It'll happen one day.
It'll happen, man. Fuck. Yeah, that's a really cool story. If you read about what's it, Gordon Wasson and Maria Sabina.
Shout out to Steve. He says, "I know my drug history."
Yeah, man.
Albert Hoffman first synthesized psilocybin.
1943, 41.
Well, yeah, no, I don't
One
know
of
what
those
year
years.
it was. Yeah, it was around the same time as he synthesized.
Come on, Steve,
them.
help us out. Was it 41 or 43?
I'm about to search it out here. Might have,
What was the question?
50s.
What
No,
year
it was before that,
Albert
bro.
Hoffman
Yeah, 1940.
synthesized
I'm gonna call it
psilocybin.
41.
I feel like it was
Oh.
around the same time as he did LSD. Psilocybin, 1958. Yeah, it was in the 50s.
What, for LSD?
No, psilocybin.
Oh. What was the date on the
Psilocybin.
LSD?
That's like, God, originally like 38.
Hoffman
or
did
something like that.
psilocin and psilocybin after LSD.
It was like 38. He originally synthesized it, shelved it.
Assumed that would be the other way around.
Yeah, that's why I was almost thinking it was in the 50s.
Maybe he noticed that there was similarities and he was like, oh, maybe I should look at what is causing that in these mushrooms.
Well, I think that Steve's right Steve is right, but I think that it didn't just come to the Americas. Like I just
Like it was already discovered.
worldwide. Like like they weren't doing research on psilocybin before the early 50s.
This comment's on LSD, by the way.
Oh, this comment, yeah. LSD was discovered in like 38 and then synthesized in like 41. And the bicycle day trip was in like 41 or something like that.
That's what I was claiming.
Yeah. It was like 3 or 4 years after he first synthesized it. I think the city. Anyway, originally before anything with psychoactive, before LSD, it was all mescaline. So it was all peyote research. And then in the 50s, they brought upon the psilocybin and the mushroom research and all that shit. A lot of mescaline research, though. I'm still blown away how they were getting
I'd
synthetic.
like to continue that research myself.
Yeah, I'm blown away how they were figuring out synthetic forms of even cannabinoids. I'm pretty sure that's how they discovered THC in the first place. But that happened in Israel. So
That was Israel, yeah.
all over the place. And they were sharing information.
They were the
back
only
then.
ones that were
Way
doing
more
any
than today.
testing on it for years and years, really. Basically after 1970 when they put the kibosh on it.
I'm curious what year Shulgin was talking about synthesizing THC. I'm gonna have to look that up specifically. He was just talking about that in that book, but it's interesting how he got there through like different botanicals. Pretty interesting with that one. I'm all over the place. We're talking about like 5 different chemicals. Shulgin also first synthesized MDMA.
Add another one in there.
Did you see the research today that we were talking about in Reddit? They were saying how fucking ketamine is not any more beneficial than like electroshock therapy, which I thought was really odd that they still even fucking do that shit for like depression.
not more beneficial.
So how effective would both together be?
I have no idea, but
I think that's like
I'm
questionable
fairly certain
whether
that
electroshock
Is that a
therapy
hashtag?
is good.
Hashtag.
That's what
Okay.
my
Oh, I love that
question
shit.
was
I
like.
love that shit when I had the TENS unit. Oh, that thing is fucking amazing.
oof, man.
Well, I think the TENS is different than electroshock therapy, I believe.
Yeah, electroshock therapy is applied to the fucking head, to
Like,
the
is it a
brain.
nerve? Does it go through like
a
nerves and
mental-
shit?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
TENS
Yeah.
thing is like a muscle
Well,
stimulation.
one of the things that's a long-term effect
Yeah.
for people that have electroshock therapy like that, they call it ECR or whatever the fuck it is that they long-term have memory loss.
And like brain fog sometimes.
Fuck that.
Yeah, exactly.
You said ketamine?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was on Reddit today.
Yeah,
I wonder if the side effects can't be as bad, right? So then you just maybe they'll start opting for the less damaging medicines.
so
hopefully.
it's a disassociative, and when it takes you into that, you know, phase of consciousness as a dissociative, it kind of allows you to, I guess, forget about your traumas, or your traumas aren't, you know, coming to surface, you know, in that respect. You're not forgetting about them, but things aren't surfacing the way that they normally are. It's similar to the way that long-term microdosing helps and things like that, but I think it's
Isn't ketamine like
direct
an
approach.
opiate, like a mild opiate?
No, it's a disassociative. It doesn't
Ketamine used
bond-
to be used in veterinary medicine.
It doesn't bond to opioid receptors, from my understanding. It does act as a sedative, like an opioid, but it's more of a I don't know how else to describe disassociation with reality. Like,
Disassociation is not me.
puts you in a dream. Yeah. It makes you not really care about a lot of shit, and just kind of da. But I shouldn't be so vague, I suppose, because a lot of people take it very seriously.
Oh,
It really
I had
does
it confused. I was thinking kratom, but now that you described
kratom does act on the opioid receptors.
Yeah,
It is an
yeah.
opioid.
So I was confused.
That's what's still legal.
That's what you find in a lot of head jobs.
Yeah. You can get
But
that all over the
there's
place.
been crazy stuff with that too.
Well, it's addictive,
psych
it's
substance.
addictive, just like any of that
Paid
other
attention to his channel. He's really struggled with that.
stuff.
Yeah.
It's addictive like anything
That's
else.
what I was talking about. She's going
But it can help get off of maybe other drugs, you know, if you're locked into something like pharmaceuticals or other street opioids or something like that, and you're worried about fentanyl. I mean, at least I don't think that kratom's being kratom, or however you want to pronounce it, being cut with fentanyl or anything like that. I mean, at least not at the head shop level, I would imagine. So
Right.
I
mean,
think it's a trading
not
trading
regulated,
down.
right?
You know what I mean? You're trading down in riskiness.
Yeah. It's still addictive. It still is going to hold and, you know, potentially change your personality. It's still going to do all these other things that, you know, happens when you're addicted. It's probably just a better source of an opioid if you're addicted to opioids. But similarly, that's how addiction therapy weans people off of opioids in the first place. Like, they give Suboxone.
If you're going to do substitution, you want to
anything
substitute
like
for
that.
something that's less lethal.
Right, exactly, or at least has a different safety profile. And in this case, you know, you're hopefully going to avoid fentanyl, which is the big killer of you know, there's functional opioid addicts all over the world, you know, that can take higher doses of opioids. Their bodies are tolerant to it. It's not the opioids that necessarily kill them. A lot of times it is the effects of the drugs, right? It just begins to shut down organs and stuff like that. That stuff's not good.
Well, I've always said that it's a matter of what you're
fentanyl,
treating. You're like, everybody self-medicates. Everybody. You came to cannabis because you self-medicated for some shit, whether you knew it intentionally or not. And I was reading another article today that was talking about how they've seen in the animal world that animals will also self-medicate like that.
There's just such a big difference though with opioids and cannabinoids. Like cannabinoids, the way they play on the receptors, the CB1 and the CB2 receptor heals. I don't know how much healing the opioid receptors do. I mean, maybe by lowering stress levels in a way you're healing. So I can see some of that stuff. But maybe natural opioid, maybe like eating poppy seed bread and stuff like that, yeah, would help. But I don't see like the synthetic versions are they're bad for your kidneys and your liver and stuff like that. Eating pills, taking pills and stuff like that often. A lot of like RSO, a concentrated form of cannabis. We could even say that that's it's not really semi-isolated. It's, potentially chemistry, whatever. Extracted. Yeah, it's a concentrator. So it's not bad for you at all. It's not, from what I understand, it's not bad for your liver. It doesn't do anything like that pharmaceuticals or pills, isolates might, synthetics might. Cannabinoids are it's a different beast, man. It really is compared to like any other. And like a lot of other substances, psilocybin and a lot of these other ones, the way that their safety profile is just so low. There's such a small amount with low toxicity, minimal toxicity to your body. Almost nothing has just such a large impact physically, mentally. Even as like we're talking, they're talking about natural tryptamines, microdosing, even something as small of a molecule as LSD having anti-inflammatory effects on you, which could be huge. And something that small is non-toxic, putting such a small amount into your body of a substance that could be potentially acting as something else. You don't even need those more. Well, I don't know. I don't want to call them more lethal, but like more unstable, more more lethal, I guess, drugs, right? The drugs with a slimmer safety profile or a higher rate of addiction or what is it? It's not really addiction. Really, you're just you become dependent, right? It's a dependency. Sometimes your body forms dependencies on some of that kind of stuff and habits, whatever.
Red, I want to read something from chat real quick. If you haven't been following chat, make sure you guys are watching along because there's a lot of information going back and forth. Cheers, everybody. Mama Lo says painkillers can make things worse by causing irritation from you not feeling pain and not working about resting your injury. That is true. And also, if you take painkillers for a really, really, really long time, you're going to run into a couple of problems. One is you're going to need to keep increasing your dose, which we know that any problem that you have with increasing the dose is going to increase the problems. It's also going to make it so it doesn't work when you need it to. You can also have phantom pain issues that, like, even if you stop taking it, you'll still feel pain issues. It's not from anything other than just having used it for so long, man. And it's really sad because
then you run into liver issues from taking them over and over and over. And
absolutely, I guarantee you that we all know someone, or know someone that knows someone, that it has fucking wrecked their life, man.
Yeah, terrible.
That's why I think it's great how, the information with how cannabis can help people with inflammation and can help people with pain and can help people with, different mental states and things like that. And how we've, through talking about it and through sharing information, we've gotten to the point where we have destigmatized and almost depropagandized people for the most part. Now, there's still some hardheads out there and shit that are just never going to change, but it's at least an option for some people rather than, as we said, knowing someone or knowing someone that knows someone.
Right. Blue Kiss. That's so funny. It's true. That's what I've heard.
There's a lot more older people coming out of the woodworks.
The weedworks?
Out of the weeds. Out of the woodworks into the weeds. Getting a lot of older people getting into weed.
Goddamn
I
old
think
people.
so too, because that's where the pain that's where the industry is, man. That's where all the medicine needs to be and all the studies need to be done to help these old people that are on all these medicines that are they're interacting with each other and not doing well. So, you know, that's
You know
what the
who I
great thing about
don't
cannabis is it doesn't interact with a lot of those medicines that these people need. So the elderly are where it's at. That's where we need to focus things with cannabis. So
on a
hopefully they will
day-to-day
start learning about it.
basis. Yeah, on a day-to-day basis, we don't really service hardly anybody like younger than me. You know, I'm in my mid 30s. Everybody that comes in there is like 40 and up. I don't know if it's our location or what, but
It's the Centrum Silver Terps, baby. The Centrum Silver Terps.
maybe.
Disposable income is part of it too. I
Yeah,
think.
Now with more
probably.
calcium.
Where we're at, our location probably has a bit to do with it. I'm sure that if we were another store with a larger maybe following or like a bigger brand name, we might attract a younger crowd. Maybe that has a lot to do. Maybe like brand recognition has more to do with like what demographic. But I think that like not having a brand recognition like right off the rip is a way to get older people to kind of venture in, because they're going to go anywhere that kind of like either they pass and they see a billboard, or they hear it on the radio, or they see it on weed maps or something like that, because there's not a lot of
Well, yeah, because they don't want to
Google
go
it.
to the doctor a lot of times for a lot of stuff. They're just like,
Yeah.
oh, fuck it, my knee hurts. I don't want to go to the doctor. I'm going to scoot into
Copay
the store
babies.
now.
Yeah.
It's legal. And they can just grab whatever's on the shelf. They don't know brands. And then,
No.
yeah, of course.
No,
So,
they'll pretty much go anywhere. They can Google the nearest shop. So that's what we get, man. We get a lot of people that are seriously looking for just simple, really. A lot of it's, man, I want to stay awake during the day. A lot of people looking for like sativa weed. You know, they're just because that's the word that they're trained. That's the word I'm going to use. But I mean, for the most part, they just want daytime effects. They want something to keep them up. They want something to keep them moving. And you know, unfortunately, all the gummies are marketed sativa and indica, even though they're all distillate. It's kind of weird. But you have to work the shelf the best you can in that respect when you're trying to get somebody interested. And you know, a lot of people are just like, hey, I haven't done this shit since the 60s. You know, what's it going to be like? I'm like, well, nothing like it was in the 60s. So,
well, yeah, and then they don't have a guy. So it's like if they haven't done it in a long time, but they're, you know, having a lot of pain, or maybe they're doing chemotherapy and someone was like, hey, this will help with your chemo. You know, they're not like, oh, you know, let me call my dude from 1983.
right.
So that's why they're going to the dispos. You're seeing those people too.
We are too. There's a lot of them. A lot of older.
Our plugs dried up years ago, right?
Yep. That's I think a lot of the younger crowd, you know, anybody, you know, in within say plus or minus, you know, 5-10 years of my age, they either recognize a brand and they're going to a specific shop for a brand, or they already grow their own or have a buddy that grows their own, or, you know, is within 3 degrees of a grower, you know, and has a plug. You know, is at least my guess.
You think 3?
3 degrees, probably, maybe 1 degree. I'm sure they have direct access to the grower. If you're in Michigan, most people could very easily have. Most people, I think, like if I'm thinking about it, if I can think of like 5 of my mom's friends, you know, she tells me all the time, so and so's kid grows weed. So and so's kid grows weed. Everybody's kids grow weed. You know, there's a lot of people have direct connects to at least somebody who's growing cannabis in Michigan. So it's pretty cool.
My kid grows weed.
A lot of kids grow weed.
I'm just really amazed that
My other
there's
kid
this
works in the industry.
gigantic hole in need in the Michigan, I don't want to call it market, but for a centralized, like maybe the government, they could take all this fucking regulation money and pay for it. Have a web page where caregivers can be in the registry, and when they have openings, a patient can like apply to that caregiver. You know what I mean? Because it's so hard for patients to find caregivers other than word of mouth. Well, and what other way do they have to? There's some places like in Flint, you know, Vehicle City or something like that, but those are few and far in between.
Didn't they used to have a system like that and they changed it or something?
I don't think I don't think there's been any government run one. I think there's been a couple
Oh,
like private run ones that have been trying
oh,
to start
okay.
up and didn't get any participation,
Yeah.
or I don't know what the deal was.
We had one in Ipsy before the pandemic. I'd imagine that's what shut them down. But they would have events like they had stuff like similar to like the paint and puff type thing that EMJ is doing. Very similar to a couple stuff like that where they would have like sessions, group sessions, smoke sessions, get-togethers, have people in for something, and they would have caregivers come and meet with patients. They would invite patients and caregivers, and they would also just be a place to leave your number, your name, and if you don't want to leave your name, whatever your contact is, and then patients could do the same. And so you could basically go to them, and they have no affiliation. They'll just link people. They're just like, here, you can call this person, you can call that. Do you have any patients that are looking for caregivers? And they'll say, yeah, here's so and so and so. You can call them, and it's like, that, and for them, it's like, I don't know. I think if you end up linking, you give them like $5 or something, whatever it is, however they had their thing worked out. So it was a win-win-win on everybody's part. And
It's saying that the MMA website has some feature on it to link caregivers and patients.
sweet.
First I heard of it.
Oh yeah. Would that be so at Lara through the Lara website, I'm guessing? Michigan .org, licensing.org.
I'm looking for it now. See if I can find it.
That's cool. It's a good need. There's still a lot of patients, man.
You're muted, painting lady.
Thanks. Yeah. I think it is through the Lara website, but that would be really nice if there was something that would make it easier for the patients to get access to that. So,
Yeah.
in case they didn't want to go.
Yeah, I
There's a thing
suppose.
called Grass Match. I don't know how popular it is still, but that's what patients used to use to find caregivers all on the internet.
What's it called? Grass
Grass.
match?
Yeah.
Is that a nation? Is that like a worldwide, nationwide thing, or is that
I don't know. I know it was popular here in Michigan.
interesting? Because it'd be cool to be able to connect with somebody, a caregiver or something. If I'm a patient, you're in, I don't know, so just legal state of Cali, something like that. And I go to Cali for a day or for a weekend or something, or Florida's a med state. We're going to go to Florida next month, connect with a caregiver down there. It'd be pretty cool to have that type of open source. It'd be sweet. I'm sure a lot of people would not want to have their information out there. Everybody's going to get busted. But I mean, if I'm coming down from Michigan and I have a med card, and you make me show you that information, stuff like that, I'd at least feel somewhat safer about potentially doing some sort of a gifting business or however you want to treat the transaction that doesn't include sale of cannabis. It'd be very interesting in how that stuff like that could work.
Yeah, I'm sure somebody's got their workaround for it.
Yeah.
Red with the noisiest rolling joint
Like
ever.
Well, that's right. Are we supposed to be practicing our joint rolling skills?
Yeah.
Because
I haven't told any of these guys about that little idea yet.
Okay.
Was that just a tease then?
Well, I'm going to secretly practice then.
Maybe, I guess. I wanted to do
practicing for 20 years. Bring it on. What are we doing? Joint rolling contest?
Remember that time when you lost to me? Anyway,
God, that was so fucking funny.
You didn't say it was about speed.
Seconds. Oh.
You didn't say it was a speed contest. You were talking about, I was thinking of functional, like, nice joint that I'm going to want to actually smoke. So I tucked that sucker back and everything.
Go back and watch
both
it.
smoke perfect joint.
Twisted my
Go back and
end.
watch it.
Yeah, go back and watch it.
And I twisted my
knew what
end.
episode it was.
I did the whole thing. And I was only still a couple seconds behind you.
I just looked on the Laura's website. I couldn't find anything, but I did
Damn,
find
man.
like other web pages. Like there was one from the Michigan Caregiver Association, I think,
Here's
and
the
there's another
arrow.
one called Michigan Cannabis Something Association that had a patient caregiver connect, but I didn't see any on the state website.
Red's really proud of this joint. It took him an hour and 51 minutes. to roll.
Nah, man, I rolled this sucker in about
Hour and 51
3
minutes.
minutes, probably.
He's had a couple.
This is every naturally.
Red has gone the whole
comic-
show without getting one rolled
Naturally
before, so it has happened.
It's a nice one.
Cool.
Man, he's so proud.
Not even a filter tip or anything.
Becca's upset. I haven't been using filters. I get in
You're
waves.
not even using Fusilli.
I go through
Just
waves.
twisty.
Rightly so, bro. Rightly so. Put some
Cavatappi.
fucking in there.
Every now and then I don't. I just I got roaches laying around. I like
That's wasteful,
like
man.
yeah, but I like to puff on the rope.
I just
You
don't.
do?
I just would
Oh,
rather
come
not.
on.
He'll just keep it in his mouth and just be there forever.
Get
Walk
that little-
around,
yeah.
burning her joint, and puff on it. She's got her dab bong, and then I got my joints.
Dab.
Dab bog.
These dang kids and their dabbing dongs.
Kids and damn dab bongs.
Talk about sound like a boomer.
You picked it out.
It
It's
is,
cool.
It's a nice kid.
Is that like the face gram?
Da bong.
Dab bong.
It's the wrong way.
That's pretty cool.
That's
Where'd
a
you get
nice
it from?
one.
So
like that
you got to give a function test.
That's your chance to take a big ass fucking rip.
Show the function.
It looks like a pain in the ass to clean, though.
Heat it up, shit.
It's actually not. It's
Is
been
it?
That's that
super-
badass cleaner, though.
because it's like in the very bottom, and it just the water barely comes up here. It's pretty cool.
Got a lot of crevices.
What's the name of that cleaner you guys use?
Black Label, but you could just use ISO. ISO works.
Yeah, ISO will clean up any rig pretty good as long as you don't go too long without cleaning it. You do it like once a week, it'll clean it real easy.
If you
Yeah.
use
Type of
grain
rig.
alcohol, you could wash all your bowls, your bongs, your screens, and your trim bin screens in
Make
the same
tincture out of it.
bath, and then make a tincture out of it or an RSO. Reduce it down.
Do not do that out of roaches.
If you were
Yeah.
extra smart, you could do that in just your dab rig and you'd have a really clean
Reclaim.
product right there. Yeah.
I don't necessarily know if I'd want to reclaim all my bowl material or my bong material, but I would. I have done like my my actually old like jars. Got jars, add the alcohol to it, swish it around, dump it in another jar, swish it around, another jar, and then
It's your mother liquid.
yep,
Yeah.
and then I use that in my RSO. Reduce it down, or just makes a nice tincture. Mother liquid, I like that.
That's a good point. Sequence says there's no dry material to get stuck in a dab rig, so it's not bad. Yeah, it's not like
you never
the.
pull ashes into a perk.
Oh man, the guys that would always rip it too long and then make it like poop on itself, and now it's all inside. Fuck.
That's what I do.
Ah, my headphone just shot my joint out of my mouth.
Looking for
He's always dropping the joint.
Somebody clip it.
oh, red.
Did you guys get it on film?
No,
Yeah, you're being recorded.
Did you get that?
On
Got
film.
it. Yeah, we got it on film, Chief.
Film.
red song film.
That's a good
Drop it
song.
again?
Red song film.
This joint doesn't want to get smoked.
Thank you. That's what we were waiting for.
I forgot I had
mileage out of that
capability.
motherfucker already, man.
Oh, dude, you should have seen me trying to pick things to put on the board.
That one can be
Yeah.
addictive, man.
I used to be a DJ, so I know like all the horrific sounds, like the horns and shit. And I left all those off, so we don't have any
Thank
of that.
you.
You need the,
Yeah,
you need the,
that
called-
one.
What's
you
that?
need
soccer
the
horn
bottom
called?
on the cymbals. Is what you need.
Vuvuzelas,
Yes.
What about
the bottom twos. Yeah.
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 Whenever we get a good dad joke,
I can get good one-liners from movies and stuff. All the stuff in there.
Guys, what's gonna be your 1 a.m. snack?
Sequence. I have a clip that I can send you.
Ooh.
By the way, it goes indubitably.
I'm gonna have honeycombs. So excited.
Honeycombs.
I had Preston weeks before this.
Sounds yummy.
I
What do you
just
have, friend?
got back to them.
Yeah,
She's really excited.
I would be too if I had honeycomb. I have honey bunches of
honeycomb,
oats for the almonds.
Yeah, Preston
Would be mine.
You got a bunch
So
of frozen fruit. I might go frozen fruit.
I would have eaten it, but you
I
got
got
weird
fresh
ass
fruit.
milk in your house.
Wheatus is having celery. Mmm.
Celery.
Nutritious yet delicious.
I got
You're
the
getting a
vanilla
workout in,
flavored
We don't
oat
have
milk.
any celery though.
It's in the soup.
Celery can suck itself.
You celery.
Not a fan.
Grilled
And
peanut butter.
so I made a soup. It was
A grilled
good.
celery
I
sandwich.
heated the soup the next day. It was
Grilled
good.
cheese?
And then I heated the soup the third day, and I left that fucker on way too hot, and it
Scorchy.
boiled. Yeah, and I burned the fuck out. I didn't like burn it, like reduce it down and burn it, but like it burned the fucking soup, man. I made my soup without it boiling at all. I cooked that fucker nice and slow. It was delicious, still slightly crunchy. And then I went back at it, and dude, I walk in, I'm like, oh shit, my soup, and I go in there and it's just boiling, dude,
Terrible.
boiling. I'm like,
Oh,
oh no, you know what I mean? It's like so hot, dude. I was trying so bad to just leave that temp below 200. I don't want to fuck up my vegetables, you know what I mean? I want to keep it living as long as I can. I want to eat that stuff alive and living as long as I can. And once it hits that boiling mark, you know, it starts to cook.
Lucas said scorched it, babe.
Apple and
Did.
peanut butter.
So yeah,
Yummy.
suckers. Yeah. I don't know if I'm gonna go back to it. I might have wasted.
Can we get the horn one more
half
time?
hour.
I think it's another fucking apropos time for it.
That's great.
Red, do you have anything else for this show? I think you've been horned 3 times already.
Damn, dude. Well, we took some clones and they look
got the
good.
Gretzky,
You got
the
a
hat
good
trick, man.
one? You got
Got a
a
happy one?
ding. Here, pass the joint.
Likes crunchy soup. He does.
That's good. That's good. Something was still crunchy.
We
It might
have
have been
not
the
played with
celery.
that
I think
yet.
I
the
think
celery.
it was the
The
celery.
celery was still a little bit of crunchy. It was. Even
Oh,
the
we
carrots,
just
A whole new level of
a
entertainment.
little bit of
what the
crunchy.
fuck?
The fibrous
That was cool.
GMO shit.
Dude, it's less
Bring
than
it
1
up,
minute till we get to
Jimmy.
preview our 3rd musical interlude. This is like an old Chappelle show. Remember they used to have like the musical interludes in the middle of it and shit? Where's Afro Man at?
We're in the middle of it. We're going on for another.
No, it's done.
We're not going to marathon tonight. Okay.
No, that's Thursday nights at 9 p.m. Red over on your channel for Behind
Behind the Veil. Catch us Thursday nights, 9 p.m.
It's
Eastern
the
time.
corniest segues, but they are always good.
No.
You could have easily confused a lot of today's conversation.
Sequence,
Behind
hit the
veil.
music.
All right, let's do it.
Music.
It's a new outro song that
Cue.
Larry and Catachronic made for us.